Sanakis. It's actually a fascinating tradition, going back to...
Heresy and lies. I bring you the truth. This is a spring from which the Dreamscourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison we burned out of Fior Messiverno.
The only thing you burned was hope, and I am determined to get it back, even if I must take it from you.
Charming. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dreamscourge. And at Sapadal.
Or we can stop meddling in the affairs of the living lands.
Would you tear down everything we've built? Abandon our oaths because they were too difficult to fulfill? I've been watching you, envoy. You, who survived when so many godlike fell. I even asked the gods what made you so remarkable. And the burned queen opened my eyes to what you are. We knew the chaos of the living lands had an origin. How could I have known that you were its offspring?
The Emperor sent me to fight the Dreamscourge, not your crusade.
Different wars on the same battlefield. There are two plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes. Nothing of the Akita will remain.
We may not burn out the Dreamscourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out, bury the fire, but still they rage.
Is her first instinct always to destroy stuff and hope that fixes things?
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far.
The fate of the ruins is not yours to decide.
No, it's ours to decide. And without you, Sapadal can do nothing to stop us.
She's trying to turn you against the living lands, not just Sapadal. She's either desperate or frightened. But I know one thing. She's weak.
That's all well and good. I wish I cared. Kill Sapadal if you must, but do it some other way. You'll leave Naku Kubel alone. Stomp your feet as much as you like. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
You forget your place, Archmage. No matter. I am happy to remind you.
And I will end you, Inquisitor. I will seal your unlife in ice for an eternity. Do not for a moment think that you possess any power here. You, and more importantly, your people, will regret all of it.
Harm any of my soldiers and you won't live to regret it.
Not another word, or all of your people die. Now, where was I? Ah, yes.
I want our envoy here to make the decision as to what will follow.
What if I don't want this responsibility?
Neither did the village in the parable. But sometimes we must make sacrifices. I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me.
Tell me your plan, Ringrim.
Yes, honestly, it's quite simple. I can sever the connection between the Aedyr in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the Dreamscourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwine from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins.
Perfect. Let's do it.
There's one thing I'd like to add.
Of course there is.
Severing the Aedyr will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
Gentle sleep. One moment day, the next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
What do you mean by a few deaths?
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios. There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dreamscourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
I once thought of pursuing such an idea, but only after careful study. What she suggests is anything but careful.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
Do you even hear yourself? Those necrotic limbs are real people.
At least I'm not the only rational voice in this debate. She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dreamscourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the Dream Thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwine's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more.
How am I supposed to choose this? Explain in detail.
It's simple. Ludwine's solution will kill Dream Thralls, but not eradicate the plague itself. So long as the Dreamscourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something. I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her. Even myself. And I did so, gladly. Sapadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice.
So that's what you've been hiding under the mask all this time? Sapadal is the steward of this land. They have its best interest at heart.
Huh. Look at the consequences of their stewardship. Plague, calamity, death. The living lands deserves better. Envoy, we have an obligation to scour Sapadal from the living lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Sapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Sapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
What an amateur. She accuses Sapadal of what she intends to inflict on you. Don't fall for it.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good?
And eating the spread of the Dreamscourge in Shatterscarp once and for all is worth the cost. Sever the Aedyr.
Oh, what a relief. You really scared me there, Envoy.
I don't like our options, but maybe we can learn something from this one.
So be it. Sapadal's hold over you is stronger than I suspected.
Rune, strengthen the living leaves. We twine.
Attune your soul to Sapadal to assist my focus on the Aedyr. You're the only one who can do that part. And Yatsley, come, help me. I think you'll enjoy this.
Marinzos clapam ed marslante.
Severed branch. Maximum move speed for 20 seconds.
It wasn't supposed to claim our people! I can't believe the Inquisitor allowed this.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Ringgrim? Ugh!
I don't trust this heathen magic.
I am delighted to have been right about you. I was hoping you'd have the cold logic I wanted to see. We've dealt with the Dreamscourge, but you'll still have some cleaning up to do. Now that I know this was all because of a new god flailing in their cage, the living lands is no longer of interest to me.
Did I make the right choice?
I think you made a choice that benefited the ultimate good. There will be no more dream thralls. You may, however, have nightmares, knowing you've caused so many casualties. But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For... me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsley. Few can harness so much essence with ease. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit. Which is good, because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping. And rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously, I'm... Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing! But, I have to think about it. At the very least, the envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
Make your decision based on what you want, Yahtzee.
I very rarely take on an apprentice, and I have near infinite patience. The offer will stand. Don't worry. My work will still be here when you're done with your godlike's quest. Whatever you decide, it will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Grim? Ugh.
I don't trust this heathen magic.
Where's that deep hole go? Okay, we have to science this. How far do we go before we die? Let's go. Oh wait, let's do this. Oh, we made it to the bottom, kinda. Alright, let's go to speak with Temerity. Thirdborn.
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why.
Here to stop the Dreamscourge, Kai. Rimgrin's spell cuts it off here.
Is that our answer now? Do we extract that price from every settlement in the Living Lands?
What is the alternative? That we allow the Dreamscourge to spread unchecked?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fuitu meio. That choice shouldn't be in anyone's hands.
Then why did we leave it to that archmage?
Reengrim knows more about the Dreamscourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dreamscourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
You hear yourself? The Dreamscourge will destroy this island and everyone in it. We must stop it.
Kai, let's be honest. None of us are walking away from this with a clean conscience. But unless someone makes the tough decisions, the Dreamscourge will kill us all. Or worse. That means living with our nightmares. Embracing them if we must.
Right. Getting killed by monsters is one thing, but turning into one...
We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
We can discuss this when we leave for Gallowayne's tusks. For now, I think we all need to rest.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries.
Think of it, you'll be the first person in centuries to guide an expedition to the garden.
That'll be cold comfort when everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying I've been there. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows?
It's worth it to me.
And that's all that matters, I guess. Let's go. Anyway. If I must. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means exactly.
I had to appease those spirits. It doesn't mean anything beyond that.
Right. Makes sense. The important thing is that you did it. It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that. But I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did. What I did. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though...
Yes, your ruins are fine. Those in Thirdborn will soon be suffering.
At least they will be free of the Dreamscourge. I just wish we'd had a better way of achieving that. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Aedyrs in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers.
You must be the luckiest historian alive.
And it's all thanks to you and your weird god. Sapodal, was it? Oh, big fan. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier?
The trials were worth it, if only to feel like I know where I belong now.
Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details.
How do you cope with the stress of the travel?
These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Aedyr have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that?
Ugh. Tell me about it. My hair refuses to cooperate with me now.
Now, imagine that every inch of you is frizzing up. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing.
Do we need to pay a visit to Paradise?
You're a dear for offering, but no. Let's give him a chance to miss me first. It'll just make our reunion all the sweeter. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie.
When did Giada enter the picture?
Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord.
That sounds boring.
We find plenty of ways to spice things up. Don't you worry. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. Tired already, envoy? Well, I'll see you in the morning.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Aedyr?
Is this about Ringrim?
Among other things. Aedyr is a physical manifestation of a metaphysical phenomenon. A mineral that takes our souls from death to rebirth. We severed the Aedyr and Naku Kubel to slow down the Dreamscourge. But at what cost?
You think there will be unintended consequences?
That would be putting it lightly. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Aedyr pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries.
Could anyone help them find their way?
A watcher, maybe. It's a shame we haven't got one. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves.
Those moments don't just appear, we have to make them happen.
I suppose you're right. Maybe that's the point of our little campfire chats. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question?
Ask me as many as you like.
Much appreciated. Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Aedyran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual?
Maybe it's because she doesn't trust Sup at all.
But what about you, her kinsman? When you rejected Ludwig's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. Until next time.
You have just enough to do one upgrade. To do our shield, which only brings it up a little. Let's do our axe. We have this shield. Okay, let's do Dawn of Winter. Bring it up some more. Superb quality. 135 damage. Oh, we can upgrade a couple more things. Your sword. There we go.